Hello everybody, I'm Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I'm so glad you guys could join me today. This is one of my most anticipated videos every year. Every year I have been sharing with you how to create catalog tabs for your brand new annual catalog. Well, the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog just came out, and yep, I have new catalog tabs. This is going to make working with your catalog super easy because you can find what you want with just a flip of a tab. Now, be sure to stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to share with you how you can get your catalog tabs absolutely free. But now let's get started on how to create them. I love these and I create them every year. I like to be able to, when I want birthday, I know I can go right to the birthday stamps. When I want my color collections, I'm ready to order some ink and paper and refills. I can go right to my color collections. Oh, let's go to embellishments. There's all my fabulous embellishments. Makes it nice and easy. Before I get started, I want you to notice I did have my catalog spiral bound. It's something I like to do because when I'm working, perhaps I want to create a project I see in the catalog, I like my catalog laying flat. So that is just something that I do. FYI, I had that done at an office supply place. Cost me a little over $5. I also add a clear acetate cover. I think you can already see I'm already picking up goobers and things, little adhesive from my table. That's exactly why I wanted the clear acetate cover. I also put one on the back, but for some reason this year they put a black one, and it's also really heavy duty, and I thought, you know what, we'll try it. Let's see how it goes. So I have a black cover on the back this year. But you tuned in because you want to learn how to do those catalog tabs. So let's get started with the things that you need. So obviously you need a catalog. Whether yours is spiral bound doesn't matter, but yeah, we're going to need our brand new Stampin' Up! 2021 catalog. You're going to want to print out the catalog tabs, and you're also going to want my instructions, and there's a reason for that. By the way, you notice this is just on copy paper, but my catalog tabs are on my Whisper white cardstock. So you want to have something a little more heavy duty for your tabs. But let me talk about the outline here and what I have. So I have all the instructions for you, but this key is going to tell you what page each tab needs to go on. You're going to see some highlighted ones. I'm going to explain those when I get there, but you will want to go ahead and have this printed out because you're going to want that page number key. So for this year's catalog tabs, I'm going to be using the Stitched Nested Labels dies, and you're going to want the smallest one in there. It's a little teeny tiny guy, but it is perfect for my tabs. Now, if you do not have this set of dies, you can also use the Stitch So Sweetly and use that rectangle. I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit longer than I would prefer, but if you absolutely don't have the Stitch Nested Labels, you can use the Stitch So Sweetly. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit of cutting here on our labels. Now, I want you to notice you have 4 columns, and these 2 columns are for the complete dies that you need and the complete categories you need. And this is a duplicate, and we need a duplicate. Let me show you why. When I'm flipping through my categories, I can see them this way. But I got to tell you, many times I am flipping through it backwards, especially when I'm in the back. Like I want my memories and more. I want to be able to flip to it that way. So just an FYI, we're going to have the categories on both sides of our tabs. So that's why you have 2 sets here to work with. Now be sure to stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to share with you how you can get this download for free. All right, I have got my categories here in my paper trimmer. I'm cutting it in half at 4 1/4 inches. And I'm now going to take, this is my first set of categories, and we're going to cut it down in half at 2 1/8 inch. So that gives me my 2 pieces there. We're going to repeat that with the other one. I'm now going to match these up. So these 2 start with project kits. These 2 start with memories and more. So let's start with our project kits. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine, and I'm going to start, and this is very important, you need to start at the top. For whatever reason, we discovered that when we tried to do it from the bottom up, it didn't work. So make sure you're starting here at the top. So I've got my base plate, my thin die adapter, and a cutting plate. I'm going to place my smallest, remember this is the smallest smallest stitch-shaped labels die. That's a mouthful. I need more coffee to say that 3 times. All right, I want you to pay attention. I'm going to zoom the camera in so that you can see. Do you notice how I have the die lined up right on top of the words? That is very, very important. Now, don't worry, it's not going to cut them off, and you might think it will, but it will not. But we want that edge of that die, the top of the die, to be just barely touching the word project kit. Now, I'm going to place my cutting plate here on top and sandwich that in between. Let's run that through, and let me pop this out so that you can see that when we put the die right up at the edge of the words, do you see how nicely that worked? The little stitch shows up, but it didn't cut off. So now we're going to do that exact same thing with the other word project kits. So let's repeat that process. And there is my second one. All right, so there's the 2 project kits. I'm going to stack those up and set them off to the side because I'm going to put these in order. So now I can do all occasions. And we're going to do the same thing here. Guess what, my friends? We are going to run that through our die cutting machine in the exact same way. So line up the edge of that die with the top of the word all, and you can kind of center it up with the word occasions. All right, so take the time, make sure things are centered up. If you miss one, I got a trick for you later, so don't worry if you mess up one. All right, so we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. Guess what? We're going to repeat this all the way down with both of these categories. Now, let's say you don't have the stitched nested labels dies and you still want to make your catalog tabs. You can also cut these down, and you'll just cut them down to, are you ready? 1 1/4 by 7/8 of an inch. And the 7/8 of an inch will be on all the 2, where it's a double line. But when you get down here where they're single ones, they're actually going to have to cut to 5/8 of an inch by 1 1/4. And again, it's just on how they are spaced on the form, all right, on that download. So, all right, we're all die cut. You can see I've got all of them laid out. And yep, they're all matching up. I just made sure they were all in order with my key chart. All right, it's time to put them in our catalog. Use your favorite adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and go with the multi-purpose liquid glue. I like to work with this one, but it's also going to work with snail. We just want to make sure that we get really good coverage. So really, you pick your favorite adhesive. For this, I'm actually going to bring in a silicone craft mat. And that's because we're working with glue. I want to make sure it doesn't get on my pages as I work. So let's start with our first one, and that is project kits. So remember, I have 2. I'll put those there. I'm going to open up my catalog, and you'll see here on the key, it's going to start with page 7. So I've got page 7 open, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere project kits. Let me bring this down. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see. You're going to adhere that so that the points of the die are lined up with the edge of your catalog. Before I do this, here's what I want to do. And this is important. Just know that I've made this mistake and I don't want you to. I'm on page 7. I want to make sure page 8 is on the other side. Why? Because I have adhered 2 pages together. It's true. Not cool. All right, so I'm going to take my first project kits. Oh, and before I start, I told you I had a little trick. Let's say you cut one crooked, or it didn't come out exactly the way you wanted, or maybe you caught a double here on the little stitch. I think I had it happen once. Make that one your back one. So I'm going to keep this one as my front one, and I only want to put adhesive right here, so nothing past the points. All right. So I'm going to pick that up. Remember, my silicone mat is in between, and that is ensuring that, one, if I get any glue, it's going to stick to that mat. And the other reason I like to use the multi-purpose glue, it kind of gives me the opportunity to wiggle that around and make sure that my 2 points are lined up. All right, we've got that. Now what we're going to do, I am going to open up my catalog, and I'm going to place that silicone mat there on the other side. And now I want to put adhesive, and it doesn't take a lot. Don't go crazy with the glue because we don't want it oozing out. But I do want to make sure it holds really well. And we're going to attach this one to the opposite side. And you can see I'm just lining them up We'll give that a press. Our first one is done. All right, so you can see that's how our little catalog tabs are going to stick out. I'm going to bring my key back in, and our next one is All Occasions on page 11. And now we're going to flip over to page 11. Now keep this tab handy. We're actually going to use it as a guide. So page 11, there's page 12, so I know I'm not going to adhere pages together. I'm going to slide my silicone mat down a little bit, and I've got my 2 All Occasions. I think I'll make this one my top one. And just like you saw, we're going to add our little bit of glue there, but where to put it? See, I'm going to bring my project kits down, and then I'm going to place All Occasions about, there's not a rocket science to where it's going to go, but, you know, I just kind of lined it up so that there's a little ink right in between there. But yeah, let's get that lined up, give that a press, and remember what we do now. We slide this down, and now we are going to add our next All Occasions and put it here on the back. Now I've gotten a little sloppy with my glue here, and I need to go clean that because I don't know why I got sloppy with my glue, but I did. We want to make sure we're not getting any glue on the pages. Oh, heaven forbid our pages stick together. That would not be a good thing. So that's simple enough. I can just take a wet rag and just wipe that right off. All right, we're now going to go down the catalog, okay? You're just going to keep going all the way down, but I want to point out these 3 that are highlighted. Packaging Basics, Paper Basics, and Cards and Envelopes on page 153. You notice they're all on page 153. Let me show you how I did that one. And the reason for that is because we have Packaging Basics, Paper Basics, and my envelopes. So I'm not going to show you how to do it, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. I adhered those 3 tabs together, and they all go on one page. So if you're looking for that tab, you're going to see all of them, and they're all adhered to one page. All right. Now, one thing I didn't mention is how many can you get down the page? I'm going to be honest, that's going to be determined on how close you put your tabs together. I'm going to say between 9 and 11, but you want to always start with the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, so that you can go all the way down, and that way your tabs are lined up really nice. Now I showed you this one with the 3. Well, we've got 2 more that are like that. Adhesive and Stampin' Accessories are both on page 163. And Stamparatus and Punches are both going to be page 165. So I've highlighted those so they kind of like jump out at you and you can see, oh wait, I need to be aware there's something different there. Right, and we have 25 tabs all together. And now my catalog is all ready for the brand new Stampin' Up! Year. I can find everything nice and easy. I did have one other tip for you. If there is a category that you just go, I don't really need it. Like let's say storage. You go, I already have my storage. I really don't need that tab marked. No problem. Skip storage. Just skip it altogether. And you're just going to move on to the next one, which is coloring tools, and just go down in the exact same way. You're just going to skip one of the categories. So if there's a category you don't need, don't worry about it. And there you go. Fabulous tabs. It's going to make my life so much easier for the next year as I work in this catalog. Now, I told you at the beginning of the video, I would share with you how you can earn that catalog tab download for free. If you will head over to simplysimplestamping.com, in the month of June, I am offering these tabs as a free download with a $30 order when you use the current host code. Now, where to find that host code? You're going to find it there at simplysimplestamping.com. And if you look down in the YouTube description, you're going to find a link that's going to take you to the catalog tabs, and you can order anything that you might need right there. When you place that $30 or more order, you're going to get those tabs for free. Now, I know many of you might be overseas. You can't order from the United States, or perhaps you're a demonstrator and you love the tabs. You can order them there. Again, down in that YouTube description, you will find a link where you can order the tabs. It's a simple $5 purchase, and I have a bonus for you too. Included in that download, I'm also going to have the 2020-2021 Designer Series paper color chart. This is so handy to have when you're working with Designer Series paper and you want to know, now what color is in that. And so whenever I have the question, what color, I know I can turn to that chart. So 2 ways to earn your catalog tabs and get that free bonus. Just head over to simplysimplestamping.com or follow the link down in the YouTube description. Speaking of the new catalog, if you are looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you don't currently have one, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I would love to gift you a free catalog. If you will go over to simplysimplestamping.com and look way up at the top, there is, in the menu bar, it's blue and it says Want a Catalog. You can request a catalog right there, and I would love to send you one if you are a brand new customer to me. Now, I do want to also say, if you have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you order from, that is wonderful. I want you to stick with your demonstrator, but I do kindly ask that you contact your demonstrator that you order from for your catalog. I'm sure they'd be happy to get you one. All right, guys, that is all for me. Let's get to creating some fabulous things from this new catalog, and we're going to make it nice and easy with those tabs. Have a fabulous day. I look forward to stamping with you guys again soon. Bye-bye.